Imagine waking up one day and realizing everything you thought made you happy is gone. Your bank account is empty. The people you counted on have walked away. Your health is failing, or the dreams you chased have crumbled. You feel lost, empty, scared, like happiness has slipped through your fingers forever. But what if I told you that true happiness doesn't depend on having anything at all? That even in your darkest, emptiest moment, you can still feel deep, unshakable peace? The ancient Stoics lived this truth, and they taught how you can too. If this message speaks to you, hit that like button and subscribe right now so you never miss a reminder of your inner strength. Turn on notifications. We're on this journey together. Number 1. Happiness comes from within, not from external things. The Stoics believed that nothing outside us can truly give or take away happiness. Money, status, relationships, and possessions are all temporary visitors in our lives. They come, they go, and clinging to them only creates suffering. Epictetus, once a slave who owned nothing, said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." Real happiness is an inside job. It lives in your mind and soul, not in your circumstances. When you understand this, emptiness stops feeling like a curse and starts feeling like freedom. Think of the times you finally got what you desperately wanted: a job, a partner, a purchase. The joy faded faster than you expected, didn't it? That's because external things can never fill an inner void. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, sat on the most powerful throne in the world, yet reminded himself daily that happiness does not lie in palaces or gold. He found contentment in his own thoughts and choices. You have the same power right now, no matter how little you possess. When you have nothing, the world stops lying to you about where happiness comes from. Loss strips away the illusions and forces you to look inward. This is painful, but is also a gift. Seneca wrote that poverty teaches us what wealth hides. We are enough as we are. Your worth is not measured by what you own, but by the quality of your character and mind. In having nothing, you discover you already have everything you need. External things are borrowed. They never truly belong to us. Health leaves, people change, fortunes vanish. The Stoics called these indifference, neither good nor bad in themselves. What matters is how we respond to them. A calm, grateful mind turns scarcity into sufficiency. Happiness is not having what you want. It is wanting what you have, even when that is simply your breath and your reason. Start practicing this today. List everything you think you need to be happy. Then cross each item off and ask, can I be at peace without this? You will find the answer is yes, again and again. The less you depend on the world to feel good, the freer you become. True wealth is measured by how little you require to feel complete. In emptiness, you find the space for unbreakable contentment. The Stoics proved this in the harshest conditions: imprisoned, exiled, broke, sick. Yet they smiled, wrote, and taught with serenity. Their secret was simple. Happiness is a choice available in every moment. It does not wait for better circumstances. It waits for you to decide that you are enough. Right now, with nothing in your hands, you can choose to be happy, and no one can take that from you. Number 2, control what you can, accept what you can't. Life will take things from you, sometimes everything. The Stoic response is not to fight reality, but to distinguish what is in your power. You cannot control loss, betrayal, illness, or poverty, but you can always control your thoughts, judgments, and actions. This dichotomy of control is the foundation of peace when you have nothing. Focus here, and happiness becomes possible no matter the storm. When everything feels out of control, most people panic and despair. The Stoic remains calm because they know despair is a choice. Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Your circumstances may be terrible, but your mind can stay steady. In the ruins of external life, inner order creates deep contentment. This is strength the world cannot touch. Acceptance is not giving up. It is the bravest act of freedom. Amor Fati, love of fate, means welcoming whatever comes. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart." Even when fate strips you bare, loving it frees you from resentment. Resentment poisons happiness. Acceptance nourishes it. Practicing this looks simple. When something is lost, pause and say, "This was never mine to keep." Then ask, "What can I still control right now?" Your effort, your honesty, your kindness. These remain yours forever. Focusing on them turns helplessness into quiet power. You stop wasting energy fighting the inevitable and start building inner peace. Happiness grows in the space you give to what you can control. People who have nothing often feel powerless, but the Stoics disagree. True power lies in the mind that refuses to be crushed. Seneca lost his wealth and was exiled, yet wrote letters full of joy and wisdom. He controlled his attitude, and that was enough. You have the same choice today. Let go of what you cannot change, and happiness becomes your quiet rebellion. Every morning, remind yourself, only my judgments are truly mine. Everything else is on loan from fate. When you live this truth, emptiness stops being frightening. It becomes an opportunity to practice the ultimate freedom. No external loss can touch the part of you that chooses peace. In accepting what is, you find a happiness deeper than any possession could ever give. Number 3, practice gratitude for what remains. When you have nothing, gratitude feels impossible until you look closer. You still have your breath, your awareness, the present moment. You have the ability to think, to choose, to endure. The Stoics practiced daily gratitude for these fundamentals. Seneca ended each day reflecting on what went well, even in hardship. Gratitude turns scarcity into abundance without adding a single thing. Most people only appreciate what they have after it's gone. The Stoic trains to appreciate it now, especially the smallest things. Clean water, sunlight, the ability to walk. These are miracles we overlook. When possessions vanish, these simple gifts become treasures. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to presence. Happiness lives in noticing what is still here. Try this exercise. Every morning, name 3 things you still have. Even on your worst day, you can find them. Your mind, your will, today. Marcus Aurelius began his meditations thanking the world for what it gave him. This habit rewires the mind to see sufficiency instead of emptiness. Gratitude is not denial of pain. It is the decision to honor what remains. In that honoring, joy quietly returns. Gratitude is medicine for despair. When you feel broken and empty, list what loss cannot touch. Your capacity to love, to learn, to grow. These endure. The Stoics knew that a grateful mind cannot stay miserable for long. It finds reasons to hope even in ruins. What you focus on grows. Focus on what remains, and happiness grows. People think gratitude requires abundance, but it actually creates abundance. A prisoner in a cell can be richer in spirit than a king who complains. Epictetus, with nothing but a lame leg and freedom of mind, considered himself wealthy. Gratitude made it so. You can do the same today. Count your invisible riches. They are always there, waiting to be seen. Make gratitude your daily practice, especially when life feels empty. Write it, speak it, feel it deeply. Over time, you will realize you were never truly poor. You always had enough to be happy. You just needed eyes to see it. Gratitude transforms nothing into everything. It is the Stoic path to joy that no circumstance can block. Number 4, find meaning through virtue and purpose. When external sources of meaning collapse, the Stoics turn inward to virtue. Being honest, courageous, just, and wise gives life purpose no one can take away. Money can vanish, but your integrity remains yours forever. Living virtuously is its own reward. It creates deep self-respect. In a life stripped bare, virtue becomes the brightest light. Happiness follows a life aligned with goodness. Many people chase purpose in achievements or approval. When those disappear, they feel worthless. The Stoics found purpose in simply being a good human being day after day. Seneca said the goal is to live in accordance with nature, using reason to act well. This purpose requires no possessions, only commitment. It turns even the emptiest life into something meaningful. Ask yourself daily, how can I be better today? Not richer, not more successful, just better. Help someone quietly, speak truthfully, endure hardship with grace. These small acts build a life of quiet dignity. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, but measured his days by how well he lived his values. You can measure yours the same way, no matter your circumstances. Virtue gives you a role no loss can erase, the role of a decent human being. In prison, exile, or poverty, the Stoics kept this role and kept their peace. External roles, parent, employee, owner, can be taken. The role of a virtuous soul cannot. Living it brings a satisfaction deeper than any applause. Happiness is the natural result of a meaningful life. Purpose is not something you find. It is something you choose. Choose to use whatever time you have to grow in wisdom and goodness. Even one day lived well is a complete life, the Stoics said. When you have nothing else, you still have today and the chance to live it nobly. That chance is enough to fill a heart with quiet joy. Meaning creates happiness where nothing else can. Let virtue be your compass when everything else is lost. It will guide you through darkness without fail. At the end of your life, you will not regret lost possessions. You will only ask, did I live wisely and well? Answer yes each day, and happiness will walk beside you always. This is the Stoic promise. A good life is a happy life, with or without anything. Number 5, embrace simplicity and voluntary discomfort. Modern life teaches us that more is better, but the Stoics knew less can free us. Simplicity strips away distractions and reveals what truly matters. When you choose to live with little, you train yourself to need little. Seneca occasionally lived as a poor man to practice contentment. Voluntary simplicity builds a happiness that cannot be taken away. In emptiness, you discover the joy of enough. We fear having nothing because we've never truly tried it willingly. The Stoics practiced poverty, hunger, and discomfort on purpose. This premeditation of evils made real hardship less frightening. Musonius Rufus ate simple food and slept on the ground, yet was joyful. By choosing less, they mastered contentment. You can start small today and feel the freedom grow. Try this. For one day, eat plain food, skip luxuries, walk instead of drive. Notice how little you actually need to feel okay. Most of what we chase is habit, not necessity. Simplicity quiets the restless mind and creates space for peace. When you can be content with bread and water, nothing the world does can disturb you. Happiness becomes your default state. Voluntary discomfort is training for life's involuntary losses. It builds resilience and gratitude at the same time. Cynic philosophers carried almost nothing and smiled at the world. They proved that joy does not require comfort, only perspective. Embrace less, and you fear loss less. In having little by choice, you gain everything in spirit. Simplicity is not punishment, it is liberation. The fewer things you own, the fewer things own you. Time, attention, and energy become yours again. The Stoics lived lightly, so they could live deeply. When you release the need for more, contentment rushes in. True happiness thrives in open hands, not clenched fists. Start simplifying today, one possession, one desire at a time. Practice discomfort gently and watch your fears shrink. You will realize you were never dependent on things for joy. You were dependent on the belief that you needed them. Let that belief go, and happiness fills the space you created. This is the Stoic way. Less on the outside, more on the inside, forever. Number 6, negative visualization. Prepare your mind for loss. Most suffering comes not from having nothing, but from the shock of losing what we had. The Stoics practiced negative visualization, intentionally imagining the worst to reduce its power. Picture losing your home, your loved ones, your freedom. Do this not to feel despair, but to feel gratitude for what you still have today. Seneca did this daily and found that it made him calmer and happier in the present. When you prepare for nothing, having anything feels like a gift. We fear poverty because we imagine it as endless misery. But when you sit quietly and visualize having nothing, you see you would still have your mind. You would still have choices, dignity, and the ability to endure. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that he could live happily even on a bare floor. This practice softens the blow of real loss and deepens joy in ordinary moments. Happiness grows when fear shrinks. Start small. Imagine your phone is gone, your favorite food unavailable, your plans canceled. Notice how little it truly affects your core peace. Then go deeper. Imagine health failing or relationships ending. You will find a quiet strength waiting beneath the fear. The Stoics use this to live lightly, never surprised by fate. In preparing for emptiness, you learn it cannot destroy you. Negative visualization is not pessimism, it is wisdom. It teaches you that happiness does not depend on perfect conditions. Epictetus, who lost everything multiple times, said no one can harm the person who expects harm. By facing the possibility of nothing, you free yourself from clinging. What you no longer fear to lose, you can fully enjoy while it lasts. This is the path to calm, lasting contentment. People avoid this practice because it feels dark, but it brings light. After visualizing loss, the simple things shine brighter. Sunlight, breath, a kind word. You stop taking life for granted and start living fully awake. The Stoics were not gloomy. They were deeply grateful because they knew how fragile everything is. Gratitude born from this practice is unbreakable. Happiness becomes steady, not fragile. Make negative visualization your quiet morning ritual. Spend 5 minutes imagining the worst, then return to now with relief and joy. Over time, you will fear less and appreciate more. When real loss comes, you will meet it as an old acquaintance, not a terrifying stranger. You will stand calm in emptiness because your mind has already been there and found peace. This is true Stoic freedom. Number 7, focus on the present moment. When you have nothing, the past torments you with what was lost, and the future frightens with uncertainty. The Stoics escaped both by living fully in the present moment. Only now is real. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow is not promised. Seneca wrote that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. By staying here, right now, you cut off the sources of unnecessary pain. Happiness lives only in this moment. Look around you right now. What do you actually lack in this second? Your breath is here. Your awareness is here. This moment is here. The mind that wanders to regrets or worries creates its own misery. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself constantly, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Train it to stay present, and emptiness loses its sting. Peace is always available now. Practice this. When anxiety rises, gently ask, what is actually happening right now? Not what happened, not what might happen, just now. You will often find the answer is nothing terrible. You are simply here, alive, aware. The Stoics mastered this and remained calm in prisons and battlefields. The present moment is a refuge no loss can enter. Most people live scattered across time, missing the only moment they truly have. When stripped of everything, you are forced into the present, and that is a blessing. Here, there are no bills, no failures, no threats, just what is. Epictetus taught that happiness comes from attending to the task at hand. Even if the task is simply breathing through pain, do it fully. Presence turns suffering into something bearable and sacred. Distraction is the enemy of peace. Presence is its friend. Put away the phone, quiet the thoughts, feel your body in this chair. Notice sounds, sensations, breath. The Stoics did not need possessions because they had full attention. In the present, you are never poor. You have everything that exists right now. Happiness is the natural state of a mind that stays home. Commit to one day of full presence, no dwelling on past or future. When a mind wanders, bring it back gently. You will end the day lighter, calmer, strangely fulfilled. The present moment is the only place happiness can ever be found. When you have nothing else, you still have now, and now is enough. Live here, and emptiness becomes fullness. Number 8, serve others with what you have left. When you feel empty, the instinct is to focus only on yourself and your pain. The Stoics did the opposite. They turned outward and served others. Even with nothing, you still have time, attention, kindness, and wisdom to give. Marcus Aurelius wrote that we are born for cooperation, like hands and eyes. Serving others shifts focus from lack to contribution. Happiness follows giving, not getting. A smile, a listening ear, a word of encouragement. These cost nothing, yet mean everything. Epictetus, a former slave, taught thousands with nothing but his words and example. He found joy in helping others see their own freedom. When you give from emptiness, you realize you are not empty at all. You have a heart capable of love, and that is wealth. Service turns suffering into purpose. Start small. Notice someone struggling and offer quiet support. Hold a door. Send a kind message. Truly listen. These acts remind you that you still matter, still belong. Seneca said the wise person benefits others even while benefiting themselves. In giving, you receive meaning that no possession can match. Happiness grows when you stop measuring what you lack and start measuring what you give. People with nothing often feel worthless, but the Stoics knew value lies in character. Your ability to ease someone's pain proves your worth. Even from a prison cell, you can inspire or comfort. The Stoics serve humanity through their writings and calm endurance. Their legacy outlives empires and fortunes. Contribution creates a happiness deeper than comfort. Service is the ultimate antidote to self-pity. When you focus on how to help, there is no room for despair. You may have no money, but you have experience of hardship. That is a gift to others suffering. Share it honestly, without pretense. The Stoics lived for the common good, and it filled their lives with quiet joy. In serving, you find you are never truly alone. Today, choose one act of kindness, no matter how small. Do it without expecting return. Notice how it lifts your spirit more than theirs. Even with nothing in your pockets, you can leave the world better. This is the Stoic way to rise above emptiness by lifting others. Happiness is not found in having. It is found in giving what cannot be taken. Number 9, reflect daily and examine your life. An unexamined life drifts into misery, especially when circumstances are hard. The Stoics ended each day with honest reflection. Marcus Aurelius wrote his meditations as a personal journal of self-examination. Ask yourself, what did I do well today? Where did I fall short? How can I improve? This practice turns even empty days into progress. Happiness comes from growth, not possessions. When you have nothing, reflection shows you still have choices made and lessons learned. Reviewing the day honestly builds self-respect. Seneca asked each night, what evil did I cure today? What vice did I resist? Even small victories matter. Patience shown, truth spoken, fear faced. Reflection turns emptiness into a classroom. You leave each day wiser, and wisdom brings peace. Do this tonight. Sit quietly and go through your day, moment by moment. No judgment, just clear seeing. Thank yourself for what went well, forgive what didn't. Plan one small improvement for tomorrow. The Stoics built unbreakable character this way, one evening at a time. Daily reflection makes happiness a habit, not an accident. Most people avoid reflection because they fear facing themselves. But the Stoics' new truth is the path to freedom. In examining your thoughts and actions, you take control of what is yours. External loss cannot touch a mind committed to improvement. Reflection turns suffering into strength. Happiness is the quiet pride of becoming better. Reflection also reveals how much you already handled today. You woke up, endured, kept going. That is courage. Give yourself credit for simply continuing. Epictetus reminded himself nightly that he still had his moral purpose. You have the same. In reflection, emptiness reveals hidden victories. Peace comes from seeing your own resilience. Make evening reflection non-negotiable, like brushing your teeth. 10 minutes, honest and kind. Over weeks and months, you will see growth you never expected. You will sleep calmer, wake stronger. The examined life is the happy life, the Stoics proved. Even with nothing, you have a life worth examining and improving every single day. Number 10, remember death to live fully. Nothing reminds us of emptiness like the thought of death. The Stoics meditated on it daily, not to feel fear, but to feel urgency and gratitude. Memento Mori, remember you will die. This practice strips away illusions that we need things to be happy. Seneca said we should live each day as if it were our last. When you truly accept death, life's losses shrink and happiness expands. We cling to possessions because we think we have forever. Remembering death loosens the grip. Marcus Aurelius asked himself, "Why weep over losing something when you will soon lose everything?" This is not despair, it is liberation. In the face of death, what matters is how you live right now. Happiness comes from living well today. Picture your last day. What would truly matter then? Not money, not status, not things. Only love given, kindness shown, courage lived. The Stoics used death to clarify priorities. When you have nothing, death reminds you that you are already aligned with what matters. Emptiness becomes preparation for a good ending. People fear death because they feel they haven't lived fully. Memento Mori wakes you up to live fully now. Speak the kind word, take the risk, forgive quickly. Epictetus lived every day as if it were complete. He needed nothing because each moment was enough. Death awareness turns ordinary days into precious ones. Keep a reminder of death visible, a coin, a note, a skull image. Let it gently pull you back to what is real. You will waste less time, complain less, love more. The Stoics faced death calmly because they practiced facing it daily. In accepting the ultimate emptiness, they found boundless joy in life. Happiness is living as if today counts, because it does. Today, pause and remember, this breath may be your last. Feel how precious it is. Let that feeling guide your choices. When death is your teacher, life becomes your celebration. Even with nothing, you have this day and the chance to live it well. That is more than enough for deep, lasting happiness. You've walked through the Stoic path now. Happiness is not something the world gives you when conditions are right. It is something you choose when everything else is gone. From Epictetus in chains to Marcus Aurelius on the throne, the same truth held firm. Peace lives in your judgments, your virtue, your attention to this moment. When you root yourself in what is always yours, your reason, your character, your will, no amount of emptiness can touch the core of your joy. The external world may strip away everything, but it can never strip away the one thing that matters: your power to respond well. This is not theory, it is practice, and it starts today. Look at what remains: your breath, your choices, the chance to act with courage and kindness, and decide that it is enough. Let go of what you cannot control. Give thanks for what you have. Live simply. Reflect honestly. And remember that each day is complete if you live it well. The Stoics did not wait for better times. They built happiness out of whatever time they had. You can do the same right now, exactly as you are. So carry this with you. True happiness is not having everything. It is needing nothing beyond your own good mind and heart. Thank you for spending this time with the Stoics and with me. If these words gave you even a moment of clarity or calm, please like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs to hear that they are stronger than their circumstances. We'll meet again soon. Until then, stay present, stay virtuous, and stay at peace. You already have everything you need.